Hey, landscapers, have you ever had one of those weeks where your crews were working 50, 60 hours? The phones never stop ringing. You have trucks that barely cool off at night. And yet, when you look at your bank account, there's barely any money there. Well, you'd be surprised to learn this is true with many landscapers. I've worked with business owners for over 20 years, and I can tell you something that surprises almost every lawn service owner and landscaper I work with. Being busy and being profitable are two totally different things. Today, I'm going to show you the reasons why. I'm going to show you why landscaping companies stay busy but broke, stay running crazy but never seem to have any ability to build real wealth in the business that they've grown and in the jobs that they've created and in the equipment purchases and the customers they've served, on and on. And yet they're not really creating any wealth. Cash flow is slow, or there's no cash flow. So we're going to talk about that. If you've not met me before, I'm Jim Flouse. I'm the owner and founder of Level 10 Landscaper. Our whole mission here is to help landscapers make more money or more profit, pay less tax, and have the cash flow they need to grow and build wealth. So let's jump in. Here's the first reason why landscaping companies are busy but broke, and that is that revenue hides bad pricing. It's the first mistake. Most landscapers, if you talk to them, will judge their success by the sales, right? I'm $1 million company. Hey, I ran $1.5 million last year. I've got 12 crews. None of that tells me whether you're actually making money, right? I've seen companies doing over $1 million that were barely profitable. And then on the other hand, I've seen landscapers who do $500,000 and they take away twice as much profit at the end of the year, twice as much to live on, twice as much to invest, to reinvest in the business, to grow your own personal wealth. Here's the problem. When you're constantly adding work, bad pricing gets hidden. You don't notice that every lawn is only making $8 because you're cutting 50 of them every day. Being busy covers up bad numbers. Eventually, though, the reality catches up. You need new equipment or a transmission blows, workers' comp goes up, software costs double. Suddenly, the profit disappears. So that's the first reason. And reason two is most landscapers don't know their profit per stop. So here's a question for you. How much profit do you make every time one of your trucks pulls up in front of a customer's home? I'm not talking about the $60 per lawn that the customer pays you, not revenue, not what you charge, but the actual profit after expenses. You see, most landscapers have no idea. They don't know what they keep. They don't know what they invoice. They don't know what their profits are. And so they're guessing. And so when it comes time to buy new equipment or change pricing or add new workers, they don't know whether they've actually got the money or not. And so you're actually working harder every week and every month, but making no more money. And that is exhausting. Before I go any further, please hit subscribe if you're finding this of interest. My job is to help landscapers become more profitable, to build an insanely profitable business, and to keep more of the money that they earn in their bank account and share less with the IRS. One great tool you can use to build your profitability is a profit per stop calculator. What is that? It tells you how much you're making per lawn. If you'd like a copy of that, there's a download in my YouTube profile. So go to my profile or go to the notes below this video, find the profit per stop calculator link, and you'll be on your way to getting a better knowledge of your numbers. Okay, I'm back. The third reason that most landscapers are busy but broke is small leaks, not the big leaks, but small leaks in profits. Small leaks can sink a big business. See, profit doesn't usually disappear because of one huge mistake. It disappears from hundreds of tiny ones. 5 extra minutes at every property, employees waiting at the supply yard, driving across town from one lawn to another, which can waste time because routes aren't optimized, or equipment that sits broken down. buying materials retail instead of wholesale, discounting jobs just to get the job. Each one of these feels small, but add it all together, they can cost tens of thousands of dollars each year. So if you're consistent and you're diligent in managing the small stuff, you'll find that the big stuff follows without any issues. But if you mess up on the small things, it becomes a big problem. Here's the fourth reason that many landscapers are busy but not profitable. And this one hurts. It's because your books are months behind, 3 months, 6 months behind. A lot of owners don't even know what they're doing until tax season, and then they have their books thrown together, and their accountant finishes their books and their tax return and says, well, looks like you owe the IRS about $18,000 this year. And the landscaper just falls over. Well, that can't be right. We were slammed. We've got 12 crews. We're doing 600 yards a day. How can we not have any profit? How can we only have $18,000? Well, good bookkeeping isn't about taxes. Being slammed won't guarantee you a profit. It isn't about taxes. When it comes to your accounting, it's about your numbers, giving you a scorecard every single month. You know, right now the World Cup's going on and everybody keeps watching the scoreboard. Now, many games end up 1-1 ties, but first thing you do, if you leave for a few minutes, you come back, you check the score. It should be the same way in business. You should have a scorecard. You should know what the score is and know what you have to do in terms of tactics and strategies to change the score and change the game. So numbers, know your profit per stop, know your profit per employee, know your profit per crew, know what expenses are out of line. Compare this month's numbers to last month or this quarter to the same quarter last year. Those are the things that tell you what your numbers are and how to manage your business so that you're working on your business and not just buried in your business, working so hard you don't know what the score is. So here's the last reason, and I kind of just touched on it, right? Many landscape owners are working in the business instead of on the business. It's probably the biggest one, actually, because most landscapers are still the owner. They're the estimator. They're the salesperson. They close all the new jobs. They're the mechanic when equipment breaks down, the crew leader, the HR department when it comes to hiring or firing, the customer service department when you've got problems with clients, and sometimes they're even the bookkeeper doing books midnight or on weekends. When you're doing everything, no one's really watching the numbers, and your business starts running you instead of you running the business. I'll never forget, after I'd gotten into the accounting business for about 6 to 9 months, I got a lot of clients. I was doing their books. I was taking in money every month, but it suddenly felt like I no longer had a business I was running. I felt like I just had a job with 60 owners, being the 60 companies that were having us do their books at the time. And I realized I'm so deep into the business here. I don't really know what the business is doing, what the profits are, and what I can do to change this. So it's a mindset, but it's an important one. Here's the good news in wrapping this all up. Most landscaping companies don't have a revenue problem. You probably don't have a sales problem. You have a profit problem. In other words, what are you making after expenses? All of you know what your average price per lawn is. Do you know what your average profit per lawn is after expenses? In future videos, I'm going to show you exactly how to calculate profit per stop, how to price jobs correctly, how to read your numbers without having to be an accountant, and how to keep more of what your business earns. If that's something you'd like to learn, hit subscribe. I've put together a profit per loss calculator. I've put a link to that in the notes below this video. It'll show you exactly how much money you're making on every stop. Again, the link is in the description. Click that. And in the comments, let me know one thing. What's the biggest challenge in your landscaping business right now? I read every comment. There's a good chance it'll turn into a future video. I'm Jim Flaus, level 10 landscaper. Let's get you from level 3 or level 5 to level 10. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.